got back from the Love Never Dies musical, the Phantom of the Opera sequel, so I want to give you a kind of recap on what my thoughts are. So for starters, there will be no spoilers in this video because when I'm putting it up, the musical is still going around. I saw it today at Hobby Center in Houston. It's still going to Dallas Summer Musical. I'm not sure where else it's going, but if it's just now in Houston and Dallas, I'm sure they have a full tour planned. So I'm not going to give away any spoilers. And speaking of spoilers, that's my first tip, is if you don't want to know what's going to happen, do not listen to the soundtrack before you go. I feel like that's pretty given on most musicals, but especially this one. I know I've listened to these soundtracks before for things like Matilda, because I already know the storyline and I wanted to really know what the lyrics were so that when I was watching it, I could really enjoy the choreography and the actual theatrics and the stage production itself. But this one, not the case. I wanted to be completely just surprised by all of it. I've seen Phantom of the Opera. I watched it again this weekend before I went to the play just to make sure I remembered every little detail, and I definitely recommend that. And the play itself is 100% worth it. I highly recommend it. I loved it so much. And this is I sat in the upper right gallery. So many of you would call these cheap seats probably. That's where I was. Sorry, I live in an apartment, so background noise is just kind of part of the fun. For this musical, as with most musicals, there's definitely an advantage to sitting in the center. There were times when I couldn't really see what was going on stage right, or was it stage left? Anyway, I used to know these things and I've forgotten, but I couldn't really see what was going on one side of the stage. Nothing major. I think it was just more of whenever they would have a scene where they were portraying a crowd being there. That's no spoiler alert. The film takes place at Coney Island. That's no spoiler alert. That's in the 2-sentence summary of the musical when you buy the tickets. So with it being Coney Island, there are times when there's an audience, also not surprising for a show that is an opera. And sometimes I just couldn't see who all was in the audience on one side of the stage while they also had people on the other side of the stage. I just kind of wish I could have seen it all. So there's definitely an advantage, and I think it's worth the money to actually sit in the middle of this production rather than on one of the sides. But if the side is the only place you can get tickets, such as myself, I highly recommend still doing it, going. It's 100% worth it. So now I'm going to show you some of the merch, the playbill, things like that. So first things first, the playbill. Everybody should get one of these when you go to the musical. Love Never Dies. It's got the Phantom mask, and of course it has the yellow playbill sign. So, as I mentioned, I went to Hobby Center, which is in Houston, and so a lot of it is promotional information. We've got the cast as usual. So just so you know what cast I saw, hopefully I don't butcher these names too much. So the Phantom was Bronson Norris Murphy, and then Katrina Kemp played Fleck, and Gangle was Stephen Petrovich, Squelch Richard Coons, Meg was Mary Michael Patterson. So if you saw this on Broadway, I believe she played a different part. So someone I talked to said that was a little bit confusing for them because when they would hear her voice, they would be thinking Christine and not Meg. Madame, let's see if I can follow these little lines without my glasses. Karen Mason, then Christine Daae, Megan Picerno, I don't know. And Raul is played by Sean Thompson, and Gustave is played by Christian Harmston and Jake Henson Miller. The alternate for Christine is Rachel Ann Moore, if you happen to see the alternate for her. And then of course there's a lot of people listed for the ensemble. They do a great job, you guys. Seriously, they do an amazing job. So here you go. So you can see the names. Hopefully it's gonna focus. So fun fact, the guy that plays the Phantom in this film, or sorry, not film, this musical, is also the same one who plays the Phantom, and he's played 9 other roles in Phantom of the Opera. So he definitely plays the role well. He definitely captures the emotion that you need for such a strong role, such as that. So I find that pretty neat. And I mentioned earlier that the lady that plays Meg has previously played Christine on Broadway, and she's also been in The Sound of Music at Carnegie Hall, so you may recognize her voice from that as well. I could go on and on about how great this cast is and what all they've played in, but I'm just gonna keep going for the sake of this video, and if I decide to do that, it would be a whole nother video, and I definitely don't feel qualified to do that. So, more merch. So that was obviously the free item. One thing I did purchase is a DVD. This is $35, and it is The Love Never Dies, the sequel to The Phantom of the Opera, a sensational award-winning production. I 100% agree that it should be award-winning. It's a beautiful and haunting. The new production is astounding. And I know I just keep saying it was great. You should see it. You should see it. It's great. It's great. It's great. And that's because if I say anything more, it's going to be a spoiler. So I'm sorry I'm not very descriptive and my vocabulary is very limited, but you're welcome for there being no spoilers. So I got this. So I have some family who can't make it to the show. I called them intermission and was like, I'm getting you this. So that is one thing. Pretty much all the merch was $35 that I got anyway. Everything was $35. They also have a tote that was $20. A journal that's $20, a hoodie that is $70, and the hoodie has the same kind of layout as the unisex t-shirt. There's also a women's t-shirt. It's a red v-neck. I preferred the unisex shirt, so it says Love Never Dies. It is 100% cotton, and on the back the Phantom is a little glittery. Ooh. And it says The Phantom Returns. So I really liked it. It's a cool shirt. I think it's a good size, like a unisex small. I think it's a good unisex small. I know sometimes the smalls are really big, sometimes they're really small. I feel like this is a true to size shirt. So I got this. I really like it. And then the last thing I bought was this book. It is Unmask, a memoir by Andrew Lloyd Webber. So this is a book about his journey with musical theater. It is a large book, but I thought it'd be very interesting. As I mentioned, I don't feel qualified to talk very much about musicals or musical theater or really theater in general. So I was like, I'll get the book, see what I think. And obviously I think Andrew Lloyd Webber is very gifted, so he is somebody I would be interested in reading about. He's the composer of some of the world's most best-known musicals, including The Phantom of the Opera, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, Jesus Christ Superstar, Cats, Sunset Boulevard, and School of Rock. His awards include 7 Tonys, 3 Grammys, a Golden Globe, an Oscar, 2 International Emmys, and more. And that also includes a Richard Rogers Award of Excellence in Musical Theater. So he was knighted in 1992 and created an honorary life peer in 1997. He is passionate about the importance of music and education, and the Andrew Lloyd Webber Foundation has become one of Britain's leading charities supporting the arts and music. So I also got this book. I'm gonna upload this vlog before I read it, so I can't tell you what I think of the book yet, because if I wait till I finish this book, it's gonna be a while. I'm not the fastest reader. I enjoy reading, but I want to get this definitely uploaded pretty quickly. So it's about 500 pages. So honestly, I feel like the book looks larger than it is. Like 500 pages to me is doable. They are thick pages, and fair amount of writing on each page. I like the spacing, I like the sizing of the words. That matters a lot to me these days because I need glasses. I don't have them on for the video just because of the lighting and whatnot, but I wanted to read about him, so I grabbed the book. They did have a soundtrack. It's also $35, so I have Amazon Music, so that's how I'm listening to it. I like listening to the soundtrack after I see the musical. Maybe there was a few lines I couldn't pick up on in the live performance, and so I'll listen to it afterwards, and obviously the lyrics are much clearer whenever they've been recorded in a studio and not in a theater. So I will be listening to it on Apple Music, far cheaper than spending $35 more on the soundtrack. They also had a mug, they had a travel mug, they had a keychain, magnet, a phantom pin, like a little pin. What else? I think that's about it. It's a pretty good merch selection for a small tour, per se. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a comment. Feel free to let me know what you guys think. I plan on going to more theater productions. I really enjoy musicals. I enjoy theater. Now that I live in a bigger city, these are options a lot more often than they used to be. So stay tuned to my channel if you want to see more videos on either Houston Hacks, musical theater, or theater in general, or my international and US travels. So thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments, what else you'd like to know about the production, what else you'd like to see. Obviously this is a video of just me talking. There's not anything about photos or video clips in this vlog because that's not appropriate to do in a theater, and I respect that for everybody who works so hard on the production. I'm not going to sneak that footage in. So hopefully you enjoy this, even though it is just me talking in my apartment with background noise. Yeah. Thanks for watching.